What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So, yeah, it's been a long time. I'm still alive. And like I mentioned in my previous video or a couple of videos ago, that I was going to take a little bit of a break from posting. And obviously, we have the interlude season going on in which you can't rank up beyond level 20. So, this was as good a time as any to kind of take a step back and reflect. And, honestly, it's only been a little over a year since my mother passed. So, things are slowly getting back to normal for me. I'm beginning to enjoy the game again, beginning to enjoy playing PvP. And obviously, again, there's so much going on in Pokemon Go as well, right? So this is, again, as good a time as any to get back into the swing of things. And over the last couple of months, obviously, so much has happened, but the most important of which was that Gen 7 was released like almost a couple of months ago now. And if you've been following this channel for long enough, you must have noticed how obsessed I am with triple starter teams, which is why I decided to try out a triple Alolan starter team comp, basically consisting of Incineroar, a Decidueye or Decidueye, however you pronounce it, and then Primarina as well. And honestly, this team ended up working out way better than I originally thought it would, because both Decidueye and Primarina don't really have great movesets. They probably need dual comp day moves in order to be somewhat viable in the future. But again, like I said, this team comp actually worked much better than I thought it would because it's kind of anti-meta, right? Especially in Open Great League. But I tried the same in the Halloween Cup as well, in which it didn't really perform as well as I thought it would. I mean, obviously, because it's a poison-dominated meta, it's very difficult to run both Decidueye and Primarina in the same team, right? But then Incineroar, on the other hand, is absolutely insane. This thing's got a pretty solid moveset with Snarl, Flame Charge, and Dark Pulse. And overall, it's absolutely worth it. But again, like I said, there were some really exciting battles in here, so let's just get straight into it. Okay, moving on to the first battle here. I'm going to be leading with Decidueye and then with Incineroar and Primarina in the back. So we have Decidueye into an Alolan Graveler here. Pretty solid matchup right off the bat. They make a switch into that Pidgeot. I'm going to go into my Incineroar here. Again, don't really have a solid counter to Pidgeot, so I'm going to have to deal with it with Incineroar here. And I'm just going to try and go for as many Flame Charges as possible. As you can see, Gust is just doing so much damage, right? I have to win switch advantage because Primarina does not have a great matchup against the Alolan Graveler. So I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse this time. Unfortunately, they do shield that. They're going to go for another Feather Dance. I'm going to let it go through because I can't win switch at this stage. I'm going to come in with my Primarina and try and farm down this Pidgeot here. But they actually make a switch into the Alolan Graveler, which is perfect, right? They just played into our hands. So I'm going to be able to come back with the Decidueye. I'm going to let this go through. It is a Rock Blast. We do survive that. I'm going to be able to farm down. And then Pidgeot comes in, goes down to Razor Leaf, and they have a Swampert in the back, and this is GG's, right? I'm going to be able to get to an Energy Ball here, and this is absolutely going to one-shot the Swampert there. So Decidueye basically swept that whole team comp. I was kind of lucky with winning the leads. I was actually a bit lucky with the leads in these couple of sets of Great League battles that I did, where I won kind of a large percentage of the leads, which is really crucial in this team comp, right? Because if you lose the lead, it's going to be very difficult to come back there. So again, this is another a situation where I lost the lead. I mean, it doesn't have a great matchup against Ivysaur, but they make a switch into their Talonflame. This is fantastic, right? Not sure why they switched in like that. I'm going to come in with my Primarina here. Now, Primarina isn't really a hard counter for Talonflame because Charm is still resisted. I did call the Flame Charge Shield Bait first up, and then I'm going to have to shield this Flame Charge. As you can see, Primarina is extremely glassy as well. So I'm going to go for the Moonblast here. Even though it's resisted, it should KO the Talonflame from this range. And then they come in back with their Ivysaur. This is fine because I want switch advantage right now. I can line up my Incineroar against their Ivysaur, right? Going for the Flame Charge here is obviously going to be super effective against Ivysaur. Probably going to get the shield. I mean, they did shield that. That was a visual glitch there. I'm going to definitely shield this because this is a Razor Leaf Ivysaur. It's going to take them a while to get to their next charge move. They come in with Swampert. Going to come in with my Decidueye here. And then, yeah, try and completely Razor Leaf down, right? But they go for Hydro Cannon, it's fine. I'm going to be able to farm down. And then Ivysaur comes back in. And this is going to be extremely close again. I need to be able to get off 2 Flame Charges before they can get to another move, right? Again, Razor Leaf is just doing so much damage. So I'm going to build up to 2 Flame Charges here. I'm going to go for the first one right now. This is going to get the shield from the Ivysaur. I'm going to be able to get the next one off. And this is definitely going to KO the Ivysaur here. So pretty close battle there, but luckily we were able to pull it off then, right? Again, you're going to see a lot more Swamperts and Shadow Swamperts these days because obviously we had the classic comp day last weekend. And yeah, I mean, it's always amazing to see. I mean, Swampert is my absolute favorite Pokemon, but especially when you have Decidueye in the lead, you definitely want to see more Swamperts and Shadow Swamperts, right? But anyways, we have Decidueye into a Cresselia. Pretty decent matchup this actually because Grass Knot is resisted. Moonblast is still going to do quite a bit of damage here, as it does that. I'm not going to shield the first one. Hopefully I can get to an energy ball before they can get to a move. I'm able to get to an energy ball here. This is probably going to get the shield from the Cresselia because Razor Leaf already did so much damage. It does get the shield, and at this point I'm okay losing switch advantage because I'm going to let it go through, and hopefully I can come in with my Incineroar and try and go for this Flame Charge as soon as possible. I was actually thinking about farming down, but then again, this is Cresselia, right? You can't really farm down a Cresselia, so I'm going to go for the Flame Charge here. And then they come in with their Alakazam, and it took me a while to realize that, but they actually, I saw the Psychic typing, and I was like, let's stay in this matchup. They obviously have Counter, which is going to do super effective damage. And I switch into my Primarina. They come in with their Haunter. Again, not a great matchup for Primarina because Charm is resisted, right? Because of the Poison typing. This is where I make a bit of a mistake. I shouldn't have shielded the Shadow Punch because they were obviously going to get off another one anyways. And Incineroar is going to have to close this out, right? So I'm going to come in with my Incineroar, snarl down. Because they still have a shield, I'm not going to throw here. We're both doing super effective damage to each other, but I'm barely able to KO the Alakazam here. Again, Alakazam is extremely glassy, so you can just see how much damage Snarl did. But that was extremely close, right? I probably sort of... if ideally, I probably shouldn't have shielded the Primarina there. But anyways, moving on to the next battle here, we have Decidueye into a Machamp. Pretty solid matchup. Actually, they lagged a little bit, which is why I stopped attacking. But yeah, unfortunately, they weren't able to get off a move, right? Probably should have waited a little bit longer for them to throw a move. But anyways, I'm able to get to a Brave Bird here. I'm going to go for the Brave Bird against this Dragalge. And they let that go through. Just look at how much that just does so much damage, right? And also, it doesn't have stab coming from a Decidueye, so that just did so much damage there. They go for the Aqua Tail. I'm going to let that through, come in with the Primarina and Charm down, and they have Walrein in the back, and this is GG's right there. So they were probably a little bit unfortunate that they lagged a little bit, but we still had that because we still had 2 shields and a full health Incineroar and a full health Primarina, right? But anyways, moving on to the next battle here. We are 4-0 in this set right now. I was really hoping to get a 5-0, but here's what happens, right? We have another solid lead. They come in with Poliwrath, they switch into their Medicham. I'm going to go into my Primarina here. Just Charm is just doing so much damage right now. I'm going to let this through, and Psychic just does so much. You can see how glassy Primarina is. And a complete contrast to Azu, right? Azu is just so tanky, but anyways, they come in with their Skarmory right now. I'm not going to be able to get off a move, but this is perfect. I'm going to be able to maintain switch, so I can line up my Incineroar against this Skarmory and my Decidueye against their Poliwrath, right? So, going to shield the Sky Attack here, going to overfarm a little bit. I'm expecting them to switch at some point, but they don't, so going to go for the Flame Charge right now. And it does get the shield, and then at this point they switch, immediately switching into my Decidueye here, and I'm going to try and raise the leaf down, right? Charge move is going to come through. It's going to be an Ice Punch, which is going to do super effective damage. Just does so much damage actually. I was hoping I can KO before they can get to another move. Unfortunately, they get to it. But I'm going to let this through because I need to save the shield for my Incineroar here. I'm going to overfarm a little bit and going to go for the Flame Charge. I can't really Snarl down because Snarl is resisted by Poliwrath because of that fighting typing. And this is going to be extremely close, right? Gonna shield the Sky Attack. I need to get off 2 Flame Charges here because they still have a shield. But here's what happens, right? I completely lag here and I'm not able to attack. They continue to do that and they're able to get to a Sky Attack here. And that's gonna KO. Probably kind of fair considering the fact that my opponent lagged in the previous game. But yeah, we probably had both the games anyway, but it is what it is. It's okay. But yeah, I caught a Tapu Bulu there, but we're not gonna show that. It took me ages to catch that. But we're moving on to the next set here. We have... Yeah, I'm just going to be sticking with the same lead here. We have Decidueye against an Azumarill. Again, pretty solid matchup. And they make a switch into their Toxicroak. I'm not exactly sure what to switch into at this point. Definitely don't want to switch into my Incineroar. So I waited out a little bit and then switch into my Primarina here. Definitely shielding the Sludge Bomb because that will absolutely one-shot the Primarina, right? And they come in with their Unova Stunfisk, which is pretty good, right? Because now they have a Unova Stunfisk and an Azu in the back, in which case Decidueye has basically has this covered here. So I'm going to let this go through. They do shield that Moonblast, which is perfect. I'm going to let this through. I'm actually going to come in with my Incineroar because Incineroar has no play against Azumarill, so might as well use it in this matchup because Decidueye is anyway going to sort of take care of both of it, right? So I'm going to come in with my Decidueye, going for the Energy Ball here. This is probably almost for sure going to get the shield from the Azumarill as it does there. And I'm going to shield this up and I'm really hoping I can raise the leaf down before they can get to another move, right? They go for Play Rough, which is interesting, and I'm going to try and farm down, which I'm able to, and then they're going to come in with their Unova Stunfisk. Unova Stunfisk basically has no play against Decidueye, right? Everything is resisted, and yeah, something happened there. I was actually looked away from the screen a bit, but yeah, Discharge is resisted, Mud Bomb is resisted, and I'm able to raise the leaf down there. So again, one thing I've observed is that a lot of team comps have 2 Pokemon that are weak to grass, like they have like Azumarill and another water type or something. And especially when you have something weak to grass in this beginning on the lead, and then you have something weak to grass in the back, and then you switch it to your hard counter, that basically sets up for Decidueye to sweep towards endgame, right? So we have Decidueye into a Politoed, beg your pardon. Again, pretty solid matchup. Like I said, I probably won the lead like 4 or 5 times out of 6 or 7. So again, you can say I was probably a little bit lucky, but we did lose the lead a couple of times as well. So anyways, Cross Poison coming through. I did catch it on my Incineroar. Again, I do have to shield Lunge as well because Lunge is neutral, right? Because of the dark fire typing. But anyways, I'm going to go for the Flame Charge against this Galvantula. Galvantula is probably one of the hardest Pokemon to deal with for this team. But anyways, they come back with their Poliwrath here, try and go for the Dark Pulse, but they go for a move, which is fine. I'm going to let this through. And then coming in with my Decidueye, they switch into their Scrafty, and that's GG's. I mean, you'd love to see Scrafty in the back, right? Primarina is absolutely going to chew, and it's got such a high attack stat. And Scrafty being double weak to Charm because of the dark fighting typing has no play there. Anyways, moving on to the next battle here, we have again Decidueye into an Azumarill, pretty positive lead again. They make a switch into their Abomasnow, going into my Incineroar here. A pretty solid matchup again, both Energy Ball and Weather Ball are resisted. I'm going to overfarm a little bit, going for the Flame Charge. This is probably going to get the shield from the Abomasnow, and it does get the shield from the Abomasnow. Going for another Flame Charge here. This is probably going to get the second shield, or it's definitely going to KO, right? Because Abomasnow is double weak to fire because of the Ice Grass typing. And I was hoping this is going to be a Weather Ball, which is why I let it go through, but it ends up being an Energy Ball. It still does so much damage. And we've lost Switch, which is okay because we still have a 2 shield advantage. I'm going to come in with my Primarina, and I'm going to shield this up because this is probably going to be Energy Ball, and I'm going to farm this thing all the way down, right? And hopefully I can deal with whatever is in the back right now. And let's see what they have in the back. They have a Venomoth in the back, and this is where it gets very difficult because both Primarina and Decidueye have such a poor matchup against Venomoth, and this is one of the problems that I faced in the Halloween Cup as well because it's such a poison-dominated meta. I was hoping to go for a Brave Bird, but they catch the Brave Bird on the Azumarill, right? I mean, if I'd waited out a little bit, I could have probably farmed the Azumarill just a little bit more. I don't attack, I stopped attacking that because I want to come in with my Primarina and farm down the Azumarill and hopefully get off a Hydro Pump on the Venomoth, but unfortunately they get to a Play Rough here, which is, yeah, this is the worst case scenario there. Anyways, they're also able to get to a Poison Fang anyways, and my only win condition there was if I had probably undercharged the Brave Bird, and then I probably farmed it all the way down and had a Hydro Pump which I could have thrown at the Venomoth, but then again they had a Poison Fang ready to go anyway. So yeah, one of those matchups where it was difficult to come back. This is where we lost the lead here against a Talonflame. Going to switch into my Incineroar because Incineroar is probably a better safe swap, and they come in with their Mawile, which is pretty interesting, right? And also it's an Ice Fang Mawile, so it's resisted anyways, and just they let the Flame Charge through. That just does so much damage. And this is definitely going to be a Power-Up Punch. It was too soon to be a Play Rough or something, but it's just a Power-Up Punch, which is super effective but doesn't really do that much damage. And they come in with their Umbreon, and this is GG's right now because again, we have a Primarina in the back, and I'm going to be able to absolutely sort of spam these Flame Charges right now, right? You can just see Flame Charge really adds up even against an Umbreon. They end up shielding that as well. And I'm not going to shield this because we can just let this go through. If it's foul play, it's not going to KO. They go for Dark Pulse, which is resisted, of course, because of the dark typing. Going for another Flame Charge here. This is a double boosted Flame Charge. It's going to do so much damage to Umbreon there. Just look at that damage. That's about 40% of Umbreon's health, which is pretty ridiculous. And yeah, actually, I come in with the Decidueye and farm down because again, Primarina has a better matchup against Talonflame. But they're not even able to get off a move because we were able to raise a leaf down, and because we have 2 shields, I'm gonna be able to take this win, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna completely charm down here because there's no point throwing a move because I can only get off 1 anyways, and I'm gonna double shield the Flame Charge and I'm gonna completely farm down here. So they had like 2 Pokemon in the back weak to Primarina, which ended up working out perfectly there. So we have the Talonflame matchup is actually not that straightforward. Like I mentioned, if they bait with Flame Charge, and then they can... Brave Bird is absolutely going to one-shot anyways, right? So we have, again, Decidueye against a Serperior. Not a great lead because Serperior has access to Aerial Ace. And also Serperior is pretty tanky as well. So I'm going to let it go through, but they go for Leaf Tornado, which tells me they're probably running Leaf Tornado and Frenzy Plant. Even in that case, it's still not a great matchup because it's going to take us forever to get to a move, right? They go for Frenzy Plant right now. They make a switch into their Dragalge. Going into my Primarina here, because Dragon Tail is double resisted, I do have to watch out for Gunk Shot. So I'm going to shield this up. This was probably a little too soon for Gunk Shot, but I do shield it anyways just to be safe. And they go for Aqua Tail, so I know this is just going to be another Aqua Tail. I'm going to let this go through, and then I'm going to completely chomp down here. So, and then, let's see what they have in the back. They come in with their... interesting. They actually come in with their Serperior, so they probably don't have a response to Primarina in the back. This is actually a pretty solid matchup for Serperior anyways, but we get a shield, so that's pretty good. I'm going to let the Leaf Tornado go through. I'm going to come in with my Incineroar right now. They come in with their Registeel. Now, this is going to be very tricky because Registeel has access to Focus Blast, and I'm going to have to catch the Focus Blast on my Decidueye, right? I was trying to do that. Unfortunately, I was not able to get it. I'm definitely going to have to shield this because this will one-shot because of the Dark typing. So, I'm going to go for another Flame Charge here. And then this is almost for sure going to get the shield from the Registeel. And I'm going to try and catch the Focus Blast on my Decidueye. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get it off. But hopefully I can get to a Flame Charge. I'm barely able to get to a Flame Charge here. I don't know, that probably was a CMP because they were very close to a move there. Able to get rid of the Registeel. Serperior is going to come back in. They're probably going to get off a move, but it's fine. Whatever it is, it's not going to KO from this range. Frenzy Plant still does so much damage, but I'm able to get to a Flame Charge here. And that's going to take out the Serperior there. Again, Incineroar going to town. Like I said, Incineroar is absolutely incredible, right? It really works pretty. It's a decent save swap. I mean, not as much in an Azu dominated meta, but it's still pretty decent there. But anyways, we're going to move into some Halloween Cup battles right now. Like I said, it wasn't as great in the Halloween Cup. I mean, I started off pretty positive, but eventually, you know, we had a few losses there. So we have Incineroar against a Beedrill, a pretty solid matchup. You definitely want to catch Beedrill on the lead because Beedrill is just going to destroy the backline, right? Which is where I make a bit of a mistake. I ended up letting this go. I should have shielded that, right? Because like I said, both Primarina and Decidueye have such poor matchups against Beedrill. So go for the Flame Charge here. I'm going to have to shield this up because I'm going to have to get off the next Flame Charge. And I'm really hoping they let this go through, right? I'm hoping they let this go through. And going for the Flame Charge here, they don't let that go through, which is, I mean, of course they don't. And this is going to be very tricky. This is actually a battle where I got a little bit lucky. I mean, it's probably one of the best wins I had in Halloween Cup, but I definitely was a little bit lucky here. And also my opponent misplayed a little bit. I let the X-Scissor go through on the Decidueye because I brought in the Decidueye because it only takes neutral from poison moves as opposed to Primarina, which takes super effective damage from poison moves. So you can just see how much, that just does so much damage there. And basically, Beedrill has taken on my entire team, right? I'm going to shield this up. And then we have very little health right now. But let's see what they come in with right now, right? It's going to be very interesting here. And they come in with their Umbreon. Hopefully, I can get to a Moonblast here. I'm barely able to get to a Moonblast. And this is going to do massive, super effective damage. And look at that. That just near one-shot the Umbreon there. Then come in with the Decidueye here. And I was like, this is going to be GG's, right? But they go for last resort there. They probably misclicked that. That was double resisted. And they have an Absol in the back. And we're able to get to an energy ball there. That was like with 1 HP and a dream. Able to get to an energy ball. That's going to KO the Absol. And that's going to be a GG there. So, I mean, again, granted, I was a little bit lucky there. They probably misclicked. If they'd gone foul play, that would have been a GG. But again, Primarina with 1 HP. Almost near one-shot on Umbreon, which is pretty cool. But anyways, moving on to the next battle, we have Incineroar against an Ariados. Pretty solid matchup here. They go into their Malamar, going to go into my Primarina. And then, solid matchup, right? Charm is doing super effective damage because the Dark typing on Malamar. Gonna completely farm it down here. And then, we do lag a little bit, but able to farm it down anyways. They come in with their Nidoqueen. I'm hoping to get off a Psychic, but I'm not able to get off a Psychic here. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna come in with my Decidueye. And then, yeah, I'm going to let the first one go through. Poison Fang is still going to do quite a bit of damage here. But I'm probably going to have to shield the next one here, right? Because, but actually let this go through as well. I let it go through. I'm going to put all my money on Incineroar. Going to go for the Flame Charge right now. Hoping they let this go through because Nidoqueen is a real problem for this team. So, at this point, because they shielded that, I'm going to have to shield this. And hopefully I can snarl down before they can get to another move, right? And I'm hoping I can snarl down here. I'm able to completely snarl down. And they come back with Ariados, and this is going to be GG's. Because we still have a shield, and we've almost built up 2 flame charges here. I'm going to shield up the cross poison, and then going to go for the flame charge right now. Which is going to get the shield from the Ariados, but we have another one ready to go. And this is absolutely going to one-shot, right? Again, super effective. Because the bug typing and just like one-shots it there. So, it is so satisfying. Like I said, Incineroar, when it gets the boost, can simply close out endgames, right? Especially when people have multiple Pokemon, weak to fire or weak to dark, it can absolutely go to town there. But moving on to the next battle here. Like I said, I started off pretty strong because, again, I won a few leads in the Halloween Cup. But then when you lose the lead, especially in Great League, even if you lose the lead, you can kind of come back from it. But it's almost impossible to come back in the Halloween Cup, right? Because it's such a poison-dominated meta, and they're almost for sure going to be able to line up their poison type against your Charmer and Decidueye as well. So, again, Alolan Marowak is pretty solid lead. I have to shield the second Bone Club though because that is super effective. And I'm just going to go for the Dark Pulse here. But they make a switch into their Obstagoon, so I'm immediately switching my Primarina. This is pretty solid, right? Again, Don't have to shield this. Is not going to be a gunk shot. It's too soon to be a gunk shot, so I can completely farm all the way down. Probably going to be another Night Slash here, and it is, and I'm going to be able to farm down, and they can probably come in with their Alolan Marowak because Alolan Marowak is a pretty decent matchup, but they come in with Caesar here, so I'm going to go for the Psychic right now. Even though it's resisted, it's still going to do quite a bit of damage, but they do shield that, which is fantastic, right? Because they have no more shields right now. I'm going to come in with my Incineroar, immediately going for the Flame Charge to one-shot the Caesar there, and then they come in with their Alolan Marowak. It's going to be extremely close here right now, right? Because again, Fire Spin is doing so much super effective damage. I'm going to shield this up, but they bait with Bone Club, which is okay. I'm hoping I can get to an Energy Ball here. This is probably just going to be another Bone Club, which is resisted. And this is going to be extremely close, right? I'm barely able to get to an Energy Ball here. And this is going to do enough damage to take out the Alolan Marowak there. So, again, I was like kind of flying high at this point. I was like, okay, this team is pretty awesome in the Halloween Cup as well. But reality starts sinking in from here on, right? There were some pretty tough losses here. But like I said, I mean, when you lose the lead, it's almost impossible to recover with this team comp, especially in the Halloween Cup. So we have Incineroar against a Crustle. This is where I switch up the leads here. I have an Incineroar against a Crustle. Not a great lead at all. Switching into my Decidueye right now. Again, we're taking so much damage from the Smackdown. So I'm going to have to shield this. And then I'm going to try and completely farm all the way down here. But they probably were going to get to another move. So I decided to throw the Energy Ball anyways. Because we won switch right now. Winning switch is absolutely critical in this team comp, right? They come in with Drapion. Again, I'm going to have to come in with the Incineroar here because, again, I'm going to have to wait and see if this is an Aqua Tail Crunch Drapion or if they have Sludge Bomb. But they have Aqua Tail, which means they're probably not running Sludge Bomb, in which case I can come in with my Primarina, right? They're probably running Aqua Tail and Crunch because very few people run Aqua Tail and Sludge Bomb. Crunch is resisted. Unfortunately, we get the defense debuff here. And they come in with their Azumarill. I'm trying to go for the Psychic right now. I'm going to have to shield this up. Again, Incineroar has no play against Azumarill, right? So I'm going to have to get rid of it with Primarina. Going for the Psychic here, they do shield that, unfortunately. I'm going to try and charm down as much as possible. They're going to go for another move right now, and this is going to definitely take out the Primarina. Coming in with my Incineroar, going for the Flame Charge here to hopefully get a buff. They're probably definitely going to shield this as well. And I'm hoping I can get off another one right here, but they probably go close to another move, right? That's going to be an Ice Beam. And even though it's resisted, it's definitely going to take out the Incineroar from this range there. So, yeah. I tried to switch up the different leads. I mean, I was trying out various leads. I even tried out Primarina on the lead, but honestly, this team didn't work out anyway, right? Whichever lead I tried with was just not good enough in the Halloween Cup. So again, we have a Nidoqueen on the lead. It's a good thing we caught this in the lead because the backline again has really not much play against Nidoqueen there. I mean, Decidueye is an okay matchup, but not a great one anyway. So going to go for the Flame Charge here. And yeah, this does so much damage. Going to switch in my Decidueye to basically farm down with Poison Fang. But I actually shield the Poison farm down with Razor Leaf, beg your pardon. I shield up the Poison Fang here. And they come in with their Crustle, right? So again, you can just see how much damage Smackdown is doing, especially after the Poison Fang debuff. Not a great situation to be in. Gonna come in with my Primarina and try and charm down here. I'm gonna let this go through, but you can just see how much damage Rock Slide does. That does an insane amount of damage. And then they have an Azumarill in the back, and once again, Azumarill with 2 shields is very, very difficult to deal with, right? In hindsight, I probably should have shielded the Rock Slide here because my Primarina was the only win con against Azu, but I'm gonna try and charm down. I'm gonna have to shield this. I'm gonna try and get off as much charm damage as possible, but I'm gonna come in with my Incineroar and try and go for the Flame Charge here. But again, I realized that the health of my Incineroars were way too low as well. So I'm gonna come back with Primarina, but they have a move ready to go, and that's gonna be a GG here. Yeah. You know what? Nidoqueen is probably the hardest. I mean, you don't see as many Nidoqueens in the Open Great League as much as you do in the Halloween Cup. As that was a 2 and 3 set. I had like a few 2 and 3 sets, a few 1-4 sets in the Halloween Cup, but again, this team was way better in Great League. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I've got another really exciting team comp coming up soon. This is actually insane in the Great League, so stay tuned for that. And once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.